And good evening, everybody out there in YouTube and Reddit land. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Woody Show. It's nice to be here and talking to you. I've got myself into a little bit of trouble on Reddit today, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I'm just going to tell you that Mickey's here with me tonight. No Tracy, but I've got Mickey here with me tonight. So let's just bring Mickey in for a minute. If I can remember how to do that, I think that's how I do it. Yay, there's Mickey. So, good evening, Mickey. How are you?
Evening, people.
I've got to be very careful because I actually got myself into a little bit of trouble on Reddit today, Mickey. Do you want to hear about it?
Yeah, come on, tell me all about it.
Well, in Facebook they're called groups, right?
Yeah.
On the internet they're called Usenet.
Subreddits on here, aren't they?
Yeah, they're called subs or subreddits.
Yeah.
Bear with me a second. Yes, DJ Palsy P, you can't go to RPAN straight from your homepage, which I don't anymore. I actually when I'm on Reddit, DJ, thank you Tracy, DJ Palsy P, when I'm on Reddit, what I do is I fire up RPAN Studio, and once it's connected to Reddit, it's got a little button there that says copy link. I then copy the link and post that into my browser, and I send the link to my friends because it's such a ball ache to get into Reddit now. So it's an absolute nightmare. And good evening, Anabolic Chorizo. Right, yes, I've got myself into a bit of trouble, Mickey. I've been in the R stroke, because the subs begin with R. I've been in the R stroke London sub, chatting about London. And somebody had a conversation about black cab drivers, and I posted because I have a lot of issues with black cab drivers, and one of the issues I have with them is when you go to pay them with your card, 90% of the time they say my card machine's not working. So I've got the answer to that. Whenever I've had it, and I had it the last time I used a black cab, I got a black cab from the Connaught Rooms to Waterloo Railway Station, and I got there and he said something like £8, please. I said no problem, here's my card. He said, oh, sorry, mate, my card machine's not working. And I said, all right, it's absolutely no bother. I said, I've got your licence off your licence on your back windscreen. I've got your licence number. What I'll do is when I get home is I'll write a cheque out and I'll put it in an envelope and I'll post it to TfL and ask them to pass it on to you, telling them that your licence your machine doesn't work, and could you pass the cheque on to him? And he said to me, he said, do you know what, mate? He said, my machine's not been working all day, and he said, I've just looked at it again. He said, suddenly it's working. Because it's now a requirement. TfL say all cabs must be fitted with card machines, right? And a lot of cab drivers, they don't want to take cards, they lie about the machine. So if he actually thought I was going to write to TfL, he was running dead worried. The thing is, though, I meant to say black cab drivers. I missed out an entire word. And most of the day, people have been criticising me because I've been talking about black drivers.
Oops.
I've just gone in and corrected it now because somebody had the kindness to actually tell me what the typo was. It was just a silly, stupid typo. A silly, stupid typo. We've got 9 watchers on Reddit. Hello, all 9 of you. I'd say hello to you personally if I knew your name, but I don't know your names. And we've got 4 watching us on YouTube. Just to let you all know that next Friday, I think, next Friday is the 25th. Yes. Now, how many days are there in August, Mickey? 31?
Yes, 31.
Yeah, 31 in August. So it'll be 2. No, 31st is Thursday. So next Friday will be our last stream on Reddit, Mickey.
Yeah.
Although I may broadcast my game in the mornings. That's something I might do on Reddit. So next Friday will be our last stream on Reddit. So from next Friday, our very last stream on Reddit will be next Friday is the 26th. Our last stream on Reddit will be the 29th, Monday the 29th. That is the last time the Woody Show will be on Reddit. So if you want to watch us after the 29th, you'll have to come over to the Twitch, and there's the URL there, and I will just punch it in the comments as well, because we're moving over to Twitch. So let me just punch that into the comments. Again, I'm going to move over to Twitch from YouTube, and I'll just punch that because it's broadcasting on YouTube at the moment. It'll be the 29th will be the last broadcast on YouTube as well, unless the figures on YouTube pick up in the next 2 weeks. Same with Reddit, unless Reddit reverse their policy and decide that's wrong. Sorry, on YouTube, that's wrong. I'll type that again. That's wrong. Can I delete that? Remove. Yeah, I can. Right. Okay. Unless Reddit retract their arrogant issue and decide that it is very important that they fix the notifications, then I'll be leaving Reddit. So if you want me to stay, go and tell Reddit that they need to fix notifications. All right. As soon as Reddit fix notifications, I won't go. Right. That's better. That's put it out on. That's not done the URL. I've done something wrong there. What? All right. Hang on, Mickey. I'm wibbling. I'm doing what I accused Tracey of the other day. I'm wibbling. I'm definitely wibbling.
Yeah, but she's very good at it. You're sort of only amateur up to her standards.
Oh, I'm an amateur wibbler. Right. That's nice of me. That's nice of you, let me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That should be correct. Let's try that. Yes, that's correct. I think. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, look. Let's see. Let me just. That's not working either.
I don't know.
Oh, I know why. I've got URLs. I've got URLs. You can't post URLs on YouTube.
YouTube, no.
So I'll post a URL that YouTube doesn't know is a URL. There you go. Yes, that's a URL. Pop that into your browser, and that will work on YouTube. So yeah. So Monday week will be our last one on Reddit and our last one on YouTube. We'll be going over completely to Twitch then. I'm not sure how many days a week yet. Might be 4, might be 5. I've got to look at that. We are working on Twitch at the moment. Not right now. We're not co-streaming on Twitch at the moment. With Wednesday and Saturday streams. So the three of us, Tracey will be back with us from 8 o'clock tomorrow night on Twitch. Only on Twitch. So there's that's how you find us on Twitch tomorrow night. Right, a friend of mine, Paul. If you're out there, Paul, hi. He's asked for an update on my cancer. Because he knew that I had a couple of appointments this week. It wasn't so much appointments this week. This is the news I was going to tell you, Mickey. It wasn't so much appointments this week. I'll explain. One of the cancer drugs I have, lenalidomide, I have to have in a cycle. I have to have it. That doesn't mean I take it on a bike. It means it goes in cycles. I take it for 21 days. Then I have a 7-day break. Then take it for another 21 days. Then have a 7-day break. Well, because this is a very specialised drug, it can't be prescribed by my GP, my doctor. It has to only be prescribed by a hospital consultant. They're the only ones allowed to prescribe it. So what happens is, as I come to the end of the 21-day cycle, on the first day of the 7-day break, I email the haematology department of my... It's haematology, by the way, because I've got a blood cancer. I email the haematology department of my hospital and say, I've just run out of lenalidomide. Can you order me my next supply? Well, I did that on Friday. Friday last week was the first day of my 7-day break. And then on Monday, I got a phone call from the hospital. It was one of these CNSs, that's clinical nurse specialists. And she phoned me up and she said, I've spoken to the haematologist, and what they don't want to do is they don't want to give you your lenalidomide back again just yet, because they're having a meeting about you on Wednesday. So they haven't decided what to do yet, because we've got the results of your biopsy in. Because I had a biopsy a couple of weeks back. So she said, what I'll do is I'll phone you back Thursday and let you know what's happening, because that's the day, that's the last day of my 7-day break. I need my lenalidomide by Friday. So Wednesday came and went, and then Thursday turned up, and she phoned me about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and she said, right, she said, they've had their meeting. You've got an appointment to come in and see us next Friday, which I didn't know about, but I've had the letter arrive since then. And we're taking you off a lenalidomide permanently. That's not good news.
No.
Not good news. There's only 2 reasons you come off a lenalidomide. 1, it's working. 2, it's not working. And I know it's not working. Plus, I've had the biopsy and I've had the results of the biopsy. So, and then to give me a short notice appointment to come in and see them next Friday tells me that they've talked about it before in previous sessions. They talked about putting me on a different chemotherapy regimen called R-CHOP, which is the most vicious chemotherapy regimen there is. So I've got a funny feeling next Friday that's exactly what they're going to do, because there's no reason to stop the lenalidomide. Otherwise, they're going to put me straight onto our chop. So if you're listening there, Paul, that's the position. And the reason I didn't tell you in chat was because otherwise I'd end up repeating myself about 20 times when every different person asked me. Now I can say, look, go and look on YouTube and it's all on there. So that's where I am in my cancer treatment at the moment. And for those of you on Reddit, and I can see there's 8 of you there, for those of you on Reddit wondering why I'm talking about cancer treatment, it's because I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, or as it's really called, follicular lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. And because it's a blood cancer, I'm extremely immunosuppressed, which is why I'm broadcasting in the distant socialising sub, because I still can't go out and really socialise. I can go out and socialise, but I can't go indoors with large numbers of people. I've got to stay outside because I've got virtually no immune system, which is why we're in the distant socialising and not in the U show. Well, we're not in the U show because there's more than one of me. Yeah, it's Mickey as well. He's not more than one of me. It's more. Well, I know what I mean. Mickey, over to you. Come on, talk about something.
Well,
just throw it at you. Just throw it at you there.
Yeah. So no, that was just a bit of a shocker what you just said. Actually, I'm hoping that everything goes well next week and it's not as bad as you as you think it is.
It will be.
Fingers crossed. Well, I like to be a bit of an optimist, mate. We'll just have to see how it goes. But
when I wake up in the morning, right, Mickey, when I wake up in the morning, my sheets and my pillow has an impression of my head on it, and my sheets have an impression of my body on it. Not through weight, but through sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know that. I know that the lenalidomide didn't cure me.
Yeah.
So it's not good news. So there you go. Right, just to completely change the subject. Before we piss everybody off. You had something to say about, and we discussed this article. We discussed the news article about an 87-year-old man in a mobility scooter being killed. Now, just to give a recap for those that don't know, for those that aren't in England, there was an 87-year-old guy killed up. I don't know where it was. He was killed up north somewhere. I think it was
North London.
Oh, North London, Greenford, yeah. Greenford, that's right, Greenford. Well, that is up north, isn't it? It's the other side of the Thames. Right, it's by Greenford's out Heathrow Airport way, Mickey.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, Greenford's out by Heathrow Airport way. West London. Slough, I think it's between Heathrow and Slough, if I remember rightly off the top of my head. Or Slough, as the Americans call it. He was killed. He was surrounded by a gang of teenagers. The initial report said he was surrounded by a gang of teenagers, and they knifed him for no reason. And then a photograph of a subject a photograph of what the police wanted to speak to one of the men about it. And the story's advanced since then from what the initial reports are. Mickey?
Yeah, well, apparently they've arrested a 44-year-old male in respect to it. They raided his home in the early hours of the morning and took him into custody. Other than that, they've not said a lot at the moment, from what I understand. But from going to a bunch of teenagers to a 44-year-old male is a bit of a stretch, I think. So whether the initial reports are wrong, I don't know. But this guy was seen running away with a blood-stained knife in his hand. They've since arrested him. And I hate to say this, but he doesn't look of British origin. I'll say that. I won't say...
You didn't hate to say that at all. You quite enjoyed saying that, didn't you?
Well, because it's true. He doesn't look of British origin. But yeah, that's as far as it goes at the moment. We don't know any more than that at the moment, other than they've taken somebody into custody and he's been questioned. They must be fairly certain they got the right guy because they haven't released him on bail or anything yet. So,
okay,
we'll just have to wait and see how it goes now.
Okay,
but to attack an 87-year-old in a mobility scooter, I think is fucking low. I really do.
I agree with you, Mickey. I think they're low life. Anybody that does that, I definitely think.
Apparently, sorry, carry on. Sorry.
I was just about to say, all I was going to say is I think they're low life, Mickey.
Yeah. But apparently this guy used to go busking in a tube station. He's playing accordion, this old boy.
I read that.
He's quite well known in the area.
Yeah. Supporting Ukraine, wasn't he? Raising money for Ukraine.
Yeah, he was, yeah. Yeah, at the time that he was killed, yeah, he was raising money for Ukraine, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, so...
It's
just scum, really.
It's a different world, isn't it? It's a different world.
Yeah, isn't it?
A different world, Mickey. I was reading about another knife crime today. I mean, I can understand why some people think that we get a lot of knife crime just on the press reports. I was reading about a guy in Swindon. I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook, right? I didn't mention where it was. A guy in Swindon had his e-bike stolen off of him by a gang of teenagers, and they stabbed him several times in the legs and in the abdomen, and stole his e-bike. Just to diverge from that a minute, right? I was talking about it in an e-bike group, and somebody come up in the e-bike group and said, "Oh yeah, well that's what happens." I'll tell you exactly what they said, right? It was just the most ridiculous thing. Hang on, let me call my book of faces up. It's on my Facebook. He said, "My God, I'm glad I don't live in the crime-ridden South." And
I saw some of them clips.
Yeah, I sort of replied to him, and I said, like no crime ever happens in Manchester or Liverpool. Oh, and this was the West. Swindon isn't in the South. Swindon's in the West.
Yeah.
Right? Not the South. Guess you were sick that day when they did geography at school. And then he replied, no, that includes Manchester and Liverpool, Birmingham and Leeds and Nottingham. In fact, all the infested cities. And I had to point out to him, none of these cities are in the South. How do you manage to find your own way home? And it just got worse from there, right? All right. He replies with this. All right. He replied, "I use it by tapping into the brain power of people who make comments on here and utilise their personality to confuse myself. You are a good specimen." To which I replied, "As well as losing your sense of direction, you also appear to have lost the ability to communicate in any known language." What the hell does that mean? I use it by tapping into the brain power of people who make comments on here and utilise their personality to confuse myself. You are a good specimen. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either.
He hasn't got a fucking clue what he's talking
about.
No,
he hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. I just, you just look at it and you think, that's Facebook for you, though, isn't it? That's the norm on Facebook. That's the level. That's the level of conversation you'll have on Facebook, really. Which is why when you said earlier you hadn't really looked around Facebook, I
did see that. To be fair.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know what the backstory to it was. I just saw the clip that you put up on your Facebook page, but...
Bear with me 1 sec, Mickey. Lucy Strongarms on Reddit wants to know what she stumbled on. My question to you is, Lucy Strongarm, is what illegal drugs are you currently on? If you let me know which type of illegal drug you're on, I can perhaps help you and let you know exactly what it was that made you fall over. DJ Palsy P said on YouTube, the world is screwed. You're dead right, Palsy, you're dead right. Yeah. By the way, thinking of you, Palsy, I installed something on Twitch on Wednesday, which I think Mickey's tried it out. It's a text-to-speech conversion. That if you type into the box, it actually speaks it out on air, as to speak. Just thinking about what you said to me the other day. So does that answer your question, Lucy Strongarms? What have you stumbled on? I mean, it just depends on what illegal substances you happen to be drinking, smoking, or shoving up your back passage, really. However you do it, I don't know. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, just two old geezers waffling on. That's it. Old people talking about shit that anything. Yeah. Oh, no, I've got a whole list of crib notes, Mickey. I've got a whole list. Look, I've got a whole list. In London today, there's been a tube and bus strike.
Another one, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's either a bus strike.
On top of the rail strike, is that?
No, it's just tube and buses today.
Oh, right.
Now, the thing is, don't forget, London is very unique in the rail doesn't actually go across London. It goes just to the inner bit of London and then stops, and there's only a few lines that go across London. Most of London, most of London isn't connected by rail, so the rail strike wouldn't matter. But a bus and tube strike in the middle of London is about right. Yeah. Lucy Strongarms on Reddit says, love it. I feel like I'm sitting in a pub listening to the next table. Well, you could be, except I'm drinking coffee. What are you drinking, Mickey?
I'm on the tea again tonight.
He's drinking tea because he stays off the hard stuff like coffee. I don't think he's allowed coffee after what the magistrate said last time. I thought the judge said last time he drank coffee this time at night.
It's after 6. It's after 6 o'clock. I'm not allowed.
Yeah, not allowed coffee after 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is, Lucy. You are listening to the people in the pub on the next table. But hey, if you want to join in the conversation, if you want to ask us anything, go for it. Be my guest. Join in. But like I was just saying, I was just talking to Mickey there about the bus and tube strike, and apparently it brought central London to a halt. Now, I live in London, but people forget how big London is. And do you know what, Mickey? It didn't affect me today at all because I didn't go anywhere.
No. Oh, well, being stuck in, I shouldn't imagine it did. But so no red buses, no nothing. No,
apparently no buses, no tubes. So it was
right.
It was a bit of a nightmare.
Now, does TfL run out as far as where you live then? Are they all the same buses?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm in Greater London, so TfL, the buses here are the same as if it's red, it's TfL. Although we do get green buses and blue buses here because I'm right on the border, so you get some of Essex's buses and you get some of Kent's buses, and yes, you get some of Surrey's buses here as well. So you do get the occasional foreign buses from other counties, but yeah, it's TfL that organises the bus, and the bus that runs up my road is TfL anyway. But yeah, and Grant Schnaps, our transport secretary, went in the media this morning and said, sort yourself out, bosses, or I'll have to sort you out. I thought that's interesting.
Lucy Strongarms on Reddit once says, give us your top piece of life advice. I'm 34. Share some wisdom.
Always wear a condom.
Always wear a condom if you're male.
If you're female, always wear one.
Femidom if you're female. Yeah. And just live your life the best you can.
Yeah.
Just be honest and true to yourself, and that's all I can tell you. Huh?
Yeah, Grant Craps, you're right, DJ Pauls. Funnily enough, Lucy Strongarms, I said this to a guy a couple of weeks back. He said, can you give me some life advice? I said, yeah, always wear a condom. 2 weeks later, he come back on the stream and said, is it okay to take it off?
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I think you were telling DJ Palsy about the text-to-speech that we've been able to do on Twitch.
Yes, text-to-speech, Palsy. So, Mickey, you tried it out. What did you think?
I did try it out, yeah, and it Steve heard it, and it also came up across the screen, I believe, what I typed in.
Okay. Oh, there you go. That's on Twitch.
Yeah. So when we see you on Twitch Well, you're on Twitch tomorrow, aren't you, Steve?
Yes, I'm on Twitch tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm not here tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, it's me and Tracey tomorrow on Twitch only. There's the URL up there if you want to see us. We're on Twitch only tomorrow. Me and my friend Tracey, who's another old fart, dispensing some old farts wisdom. Right, speaking of which, some other old farts wisdom, right? Some other old farts wisdom. Where are we going? Oh, yeah. The other news story today that really amused me. Let me just cross off the ones that I have done. Just to diverge for a minute, Mickey, that tutorial I've done, when you've had a look at it, when you've played with it, let me know, because I want to use you as a barometer for what else you need to know that I can do tutorials on. Off the top of my head, my next one that I've got is titles. And because you'll need to know those to put those on there. Let me just answer Lucy Strongarm's question. Yes, this is a regular thing. Well, it was a regular thing, Lucy. It's been regular on Reddit for over a year now, but you may or may not know that Reddit started changing things about 6 weeks back. And because they've changed things, a lot of streamers are leaving because they don't like what Reddit's done. And unfortunately, I'm one of those streamers as well. So our last stream on Reddit doing this sort of thing, our last stream on Reddit will be on the 29th of August. From the 1st of September, we will be Twitch only. However, we're on Twitch. Well, not right now, we're not on Twitch, but you can catch us on Twitch on a Wednesday night, a Thursday night, and a Saturday night now. And that's where you can catch us on Twitch. The URL's up there. Right, where was I? Yes, Mickey, right. I always scan the newspaper in the mornings. I always scan the newspapers in the morning because I like to know what's going on. DJ Paulsy P on YouTube. By the way, Lucy, this is going out on YouTube and Reddit at the same time. And I've got some guys on Reddit saying things. And one of the guys on YouTube just said, the problem with politicians is they're all rich, don't understand the real world. Yeah, you're not wrong there. And I happen to know that Rishi Sunak is the richest politician this country has ever had, which means if he becomes Prime Minister, he will be the richest Prime Minister this country's ever had. Anyway, on with my thing, right? The first story that struck me in the paper today, Mickey, was, right, okay, you ready for this? Thames Water have a hosepipe ban starting from the 24th.
Right. Next week.
Blue badge holders are exempt. And so I'm exempt because I've got a blue badge. However, since the media have started speculating about it, over 1,999 calls have been made to the Metropolitan Police grassing on people using their hose pipes.
It's mind-boggling, and it doesn't come into force till next week, and yet they're already grabbing.
And they're already phoning the police. It's a civil matter, but they're phoning the police. They're making 999 calls, and the police have had to appeal for people to stop doing it. You know, and I hear people saying, "Oh yeah, you've got to use your common sense." And then I read a story like that, and I think, how is that common sense?
I think common sense is dead. There doesn't seem to be any left in the world.
And one of the people that are exempt, Lucy Strongarms. I can see your question. I can see what you're saying. I'll be with you in a second. Lucy, one of the things is blue badge holders. For our American viewers, blue badge is a disability badge, which I'm disabled. I'm a wheelchair user, although I'm not in a wheelchair at the moment, but I am a wheelchair user. Are exempt because we do need water, so I can actually use the hose pipe in my garden quite legally. I won't because I've got a water butt, but we can use it quite legally. I bet you if I do, somebody grasses me up, Mickey. I bet you if I do. Right, Lucy Strongarm.
I'll do it on purpose just to see, mate. And when he turned up, that's egg on their face, not yours.
Waved me badge at them, yeah. Lucy Strongarm says, I was doing the RPAN thing back in lockdown times. That's when I started. And it was great then, had so many viewers. Well, up until 6 weeks ago, I was averaging 250,000 to 500,000 viewers. Now look what I've got, 8. Right? It's because RPAN have decided that they wanted to defocus on streaming. So they've taken it away from the front page. And they've taken it away from all of the links, meaning that you can't find the streams very easily. Which I'm a little butthurt about it, but I'm not as butthurt as some of these big streamers. Now, if you're doing it in lockdown, you'll know about all the musicians that managed to get themselves discovered on Reddit. You know, they were getting 1 or 2 million people watching them at a time, and singers, musicians all got discovered. They've all left. They've all cleared off to Twitch. And when Reddit announced that they were doing this, they said it in the RPAN sub. They said, well, you know, this is something that people have been asking us for. And everybody in one voice said, no, actually, it's not. What we've been asking you for is because a lot of Redditors don't know, right, that notifications stopped working over 8 months ago. Over 8 months ago, right, if someone like me went live and you followed me, you would get a notification on Reddit and by email. But then the Reddit notification suddenly stopped working. And all of a sudden, every streamer said with one voice, actually, no, we've been asking you to fix notifications. RPAN came back and said, oh no, that's not important. That's why we're leaving. That's why we're leaving in droves. I mean, my drunk Australian mate, Peter, he's gone. I used to like watching him, the drunk Australian. He's gone over to Twitch. We've all gone, and that's what's happened, Lucy Strong Arms. You know, I've gone from 300,000 viewers to 6. Luckily enough, I'm not an egomaniac, but at the same time, I don't believe in wasting my time. So I'm going to Twitch full time in September. So it was great. The halcyon, there's a word. The halcyon days of streaming on Reddit are over, I'm afraid. YouTube's turning out to be just as crap. All right, I'm watching YouTube at the moment, and I've got just 2 viewers on YouTube, so I'm stopping YouTube at the same time. I mean, I'm not going to stream on YouTube with just 2 bloody viewers. That's just a waste of time. So yeah, that's what we were. Yeah, Mickey. Yeah, people dialing 999 to report their neighbour for using a hose pipe. What are your thoughts?
I think it's pathetic myself. I'm just one of these people who live and let live, you know. I mean, we're fortunate that although they've declared a drought up here, we haven't got a hose pipe or ban yet. I'm just waiting for them to shower together. But if you think I'm coming round your house for a bloody shower, you've got another thing coming, mate.
I've got 2 showers. I've got one downstairs and one upstairs. Yeah.
Right.
So you and I can have a shower at the same time and not interfere with each other.
Not in the same bloody shower.
No. I was never have a same shower with you, Mickey. I've heard about you. I've heard about you carrot crunches when you get in the shower. And keep dropping the soap. I've heard about that. Pass me the soap, will you? Yeah. Oh, oops, it slipped out of my hand. You'll have to bend over and pick it up. Yeah, right, yeah. I've heard about you people. Anyway, if you came round, I'd let you use the water butt. You can go. Given how small you are, you can go for a swim.
Yeah, good in the butt.
Yeah, go. Anyway. No, the water butt. All right. When you say go for a swim in the butt, please say water butt. All right. Don't say I'm going to come for a swim in your butt.
It's a bit.
All right.
It's a bit like you and your black cab, mate.
Yeah. Saying you're going to come for a swim in my butt really just pass me the mind bleach. Somebody needs me to pass me the mind bleach. Right. Okay.
Anyway, Lucy Strong, I'm saying she was juggling and chatting with thousands of people used to join her. It was great community. I do hope it works out for you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Although, I to be honest, I've not learnt to juggle since I've been on on Reddit. I really haven't learnt to juggle. Although if you juggling platforms might be the things, and yeah, thousands used to join you. If you juggle on Reddit now, right, you'll be lucky if you get 10. So it's seriously, you'll be lucky if you get 10, Lucy. And you've answered my question. I was going to ask you why you were called Lucy Strong Arms, but I think you've just answered my question. And I think I recall having seen you in the past, with your juggling. But like I say, if you look round Reddit now, you'll see that almost everybody that you would know from those days, I like that word, halcyon. Almost anybody.
Halcyon days.
Oh, Mickey.
I just said halcyon days.
Yeah, well, anybody from those halcyon days, okay, have all gone. The reason I'm moving over to Twitch is because I'm affiliated on Twitch. That means that I make money. I don't make any money on Reddit. And with 3 people watching me on YouTube, right? It'll be many years. I'll be dead before I make any money on YouTube. But I am affiliated on Twitch, which means I actually make money on Twitch. So I'm moving over to Twitch for that reason. Because when there were a few thousand, when there were thousands watching me, I could still make a little bit of money from other things. A little bit of affiliate marketing. A little bit of merchandising, but it's all gone. So, Twitch. So to say, I hope Twitch works out for you guys. Twitch has already worked out for me. I'm where I need to be on Twitch, but I'm moving over to it for, like I say, for several reasons. Because the other thing that Arpan said is What they'll do is they'll also release, when they said they were dialing back on streamers, they promised they would release the source code for RPAN. They haven't. Oh, that would have been so much nicer, because RPAN is such an awkward stream software to do, mainly because it's in 9.16 and the rest of the world streams in 16.9. But they were going to release RPAN so you could get access to the source code, which is what I wanted, because I would so love. I'm using RPAN Studio to broadcast this now. I would so love to have WebSockets on RPAN Studio. WebSockets allows me to use my Stream Deck. You'd have to Google what Stream Decks are if you don't know what they are. So, but I can't. You can't add WebSockets to RPAN Studio, so they haven't released the source code. So that's another fib they've told. So all in all, they've been really disingenuous to streamers, and they've driven us off of their platform en masse. And like I say, if you look round, you won't see any of the streamers that you recognise from 2 years ago. They've all gone. I used to like some of them, but some of them were really good, especially some of the singers. I used to love some of the singers. They had some beautiful voices, but they've gone. They've all gone over to Twitch, which is where we're going. Right, yeah. Yeah. DJ Palsy P on YouTube says there's people dialing 999 for the most ridiculous of things. I agree, DJ Palsy P. And I've mentioned this before, that I run a Facebook group for the posting of dash cam footage. And time again, people post a bit of footage, and other people will say, well, you should have used common sense. And then I see news stories like people dialing 999 for people using their hoses. And I think, this is not common sense. I read a story the other day about a man that shoved 22 Cadbury's cream eggs up his bum, and then sold his story to the Daily Mirror. This is not common sense. It's just not common sense. It's like Rebecca Vardy and what's her name, Colleen. Why did Rebecca Vardy even start the court case? She was on to a loser before she even started. There was just no common sense there. Just absolute craziness.
Now she's crying the victim, Steve.
Oh yeah. Oh, did she come across as a lying, conniving? Did she come across as a liar, someone who's a liar and a conniver?
Yes.
Yeah. Same for that. That's what I mean. Totally. She completely lost it. Before, you just had her down as a big mouth that couldn't keep a secret.
Yeah.
Now she's a lying, conniving big mouth that couldn't keep a secret.
I don't know why they couldn't just. I mean, it's cost them hundreds of thousands, if not millions.
Cost her.
Why they couldn't have just sat down and bloody, like we did in the old days, talk about it and say, oh, look, that's the end of it, and things are sorted out. They didn't need to take it to litigation and what have you. They didn't need to do that.
I believe they did, Mickey.
Want it to go that far. She held out her hand a couple of times, the olive branch to her. But no, Vardy in her wisdom thought she would have her 5 minutes of fucking fame, and it backfired.
Yeah.
It's just.
Apparently, if you read the press, and I've only got what the press say, so I don't know the truth on it. Apparently, the first name, what? Colleen, isn't it? Colleen Rooney. 3 times she tried exactly that with Rebecca Vardy.
Yeah.
And 3 times Rebecca Vardy said no. And if it turns out, it's like this Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial, it's...
Oh, God.
There was only ever going to be one winner in that trial to start with. And it just went from there. It just...
And did you know that Amber Heard has now, or her lawyer has now come off the case, and she's had to get new lawyers because she's still trying to bloody...
Yeah,
I don't know why if she went away, shut up for a few, she might get her career back. I doubt it, but she might do.
I doubt it.
But the more she keeps on, the more she's alienating people, the less chance she's got of getting a job in movies again, because people just won't want to watch her.
And the more she carries on, the more she's proving that the verdict was the right one.
The correct one, yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah.
He's really coming across as a... Do you know what a bunny boiler is?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Did you ever watch the film with Glenn Close and Michael Douglas? Fatal Encounters?
Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction, yeah. Where Glenn
No, I
Close
didn't.
Glenn Close broke into the house, broke into the garden, stole the children's bunnies and boiled them.
Is that where that comes from?
That's where that comes from, bunny boiler. So bunny boiler
right.
means someone that's not. I'm not going to be misogynistic and say it's a woman. I'm going to say a bunny boiler is somebody that is not quite emotionally there when it comes to relationships. So that's where the phrase bunny boiler comes in. So it's just absolutely crazy. And as a public service announcement, right? This is a warning, right? I know in America they're having a heat wave, and I know here we're having a heat wave. Look, if any of you out there have buried a body in a reservoir, lake or river in the last 20 years, give yourselves up now. All right? Yep. Give yourselves up now. Saves everybody a lot of trouble. All right? So if you're guilty of burying any bodies in a lake, reservoir or river, just walk into a police station and say, look, I've done this. Especially if you're in Arizona, and especially if it's in Lake Mead, right? Because so far Lake Mead has dropped 170 feet.
Hello,
and
Happy.
It's still dropping. Hello, Happy Smile Seeker. But if you've buried somebody in a lake, reservoir or river, hand yourself in now. It'll be better for you. If you've actually decided that when you did kill somebody, you were not going to bury them in a lake, river or reservoir, do not put them in suitcases and put them into storage units. So I'll give you those 2 life tips. Lucy Strongarms asked for 2 life tips. There you go, Lucy. That's 2 life tips for you.
I saw a story today talking about putting people in suitcases. That a geezer, he's just been jailed for life.
Oh, yeah.
He strangled his wife on their wedding night. And then buggered off in a caravan to Skegness for a few days, came back, put her in a suitcase, and while the old Bill was knocking on the front door to ask about a missing person, he was wheeling her out the back and hiding her in the bushes in the back garden in this suitcase. You couldn't make it up.
You couldn't. I know there's this old joke about if I'd have married her if I'd have killed her instead of married her, I'd be coming out now. But he did both, didn't he? On the same day.
Same day as she got married. Apparently they had an argument. Well, why the fuck did you get married then? Because you must have known what people were like before you did so.
Good evening, Happy Smile Seeker. I'll tell you what, Mickey, with my current missus, we're not married, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but we are not married. We are not married. Bear with me 1 second. DJ Palsy, sorry. YouTube hid your message because they thought it was a bit rude. So I've just posted it because he's back to the cream eggs and he's talking about egg on your face and egg up your bum. Don't say egg up your bum. You'll turn Mickey on.
Yeah, especially if it's a cream egg.
Yeah, so... Yeah, no, me and my missus, we've been together now for 13 years. And we've only ever had one argument.
Yeah.
Started the day we met.
It hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, it started the day we met.
Yeah.
No, I can't actually recall us ever having an argument. It's because when I'm serious, I always end the sentence with, I have spoken.
Yeah, and then she laughs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't work out well, does it?
Yeah. If I said that, it'd be silent for a long while I'm lay out on the floor.
You get the silent treatment, do you?
Oh, no, I'll get a thump in the ear. I'd be laid out on the floor and be real quiet.
Okay.
God. Yeah, she's not... If I said I had spoken, I'd get a left hook.
I treat my missus as an equal. I'm always moaning at her for pissing on the floor.
Missing the seat, yeah.
I am always moaning at her. Right? I'm always moaning at her for leaving the toilet seat up. That is such an annoying habit, isn't it? Women who leave the toilet seats up.
No, I moan at mine for leaving it down. She always bitches at me for leaving it up. But surely it's as easy to put it down as it is to lift it up. Just.
Can I let you in a little secret?
What?
Can I let you in a little secret? When I go away, and I did it when I went up to when I went up to Birmingham the other week to see all my mates, right? Generally, when I stop in a motorway service area, do you know what I do?
Go on.
If it's not too busy, I'll actually go into the ladies, right? And I'll lift all the toilet seats up. And then I'll go and sit outside, right? And with a McDonald's or a Kentucky or whatever food it is there. And I'll just watch the ladies coming out of the toilet there and the look on their faces.
I think you're a bit of a perv on the quiet, mate.
And that's not a perv at all. You try it, Mickey. You go round and you lift all the toilet seats up in a lady's toilet.
Oh, dear.
All right? You go and do that. Oh, yeah. These little things, they amuse me. They amuse me.
Yeah. But I understand when you go up to Birmingham, you stop at every single services on the way up, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's an age thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
My bladder. I don't have the...
No, it was a toilet fetish or something, that was all. Hang on, I've got to stop here and stick all the seats up.
Yeah, no. I don't have the bladder. I don't have the bladder of a 20-year-old, and I certainly don't piss like a racehorse. No, that's and you can understand exactly what I'm talking about there, Mickey. You know, it's
Can I?
Yes, you can, because you're older than me. Yeah, I used to hear old people talking about it, right? And you think it doesn't happen to me because you go to the toilet and you can hear it come out full stream, right? You know, with real pressure behind it. Now there's hardly any pressure behind it.
No, mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you have to stand that little bit closer.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
stand there a little bit longer.
I think it won't be too long now before I have to sit down to pee. And then I won't lift the toilet. Then I'll put the toilet seats. Then I'll put the toilet seats up when I'm finished. But I might have to sit down to pee. But it's an age thing, Mickey, that I can't go any more than about 45 miles without wanting to go and have a pee. But then that's probably down to the sheer amount of coffee I drink, because I do drink a tremendous amount of coffee. Mainly decaffeinated, except when we're out, because getting decaffeinated in a coffee shop like Costa or Starbucks is a bit. It's not on my list, but I'll mention it, right? That is a bit of a con, because I like Starbucks and I like Costa's because you're getting fresh ground coffee, right?
Yep.
Ask them for a decaf and they'll make it from a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be the same shit that you drink.
So it's not fresh ground coffee at all.
No.
Right? It's bag coffee, and it just doesn't taste the same as fresh ground coffee. And I like fresh ground coffee. Fresh ground coffee is gorgeous.
Ditto, yeah.
But so I stopped drinking decaf coffee. I drink decaf coffee at home, but when I'm out, I don't drink decaf coffee because of that reason. And of course, it means that I end up having to piss all the time, which is so fucking annoying.
I think I tried decaf several years ago and just didn't like the taste of it, to be fair.
I can't tell the difference. I'm surprised you can. I can't.
Well, I'm talking years ago. I mean, when...
Well, I can when it's in a bag as opposed to being ground.
Yeah. But I've not had ground decaf, so I wouldn't know. It was just instant, and it was vile. Didn't taste the same at all.
That's a lie, you know that, don't you? I've got to tell you, Mickey, that is one of the... There's three greatest lies in this world, right?
Yeah.
The chicks in the post.
Yeah.
I won't come in your mouth. And instant coffee.
Yeah, no such thing.
It's not, is it?
No,
it's not. You take the lid off, right, and you've actually got to do shit, haven't you?
Yeah, you got to peel that foil a little bit.
You got to pour
put a spoonful in a cup.
Yep, you got to boil a kettle.
Yeah,
you got to get a cup. You got to put it in. You got to stir it. It's not instant coffee at all.
No.
Those are the three greatest lies the world has ever known.
That's why I like me Tassimo.
I've got an espresso machine. I use
espresso, yeah.
Capsules.
Same difference.
I actually got Amazon brand. I actually use Amazon brand Solimo coffee, which I quite like. It's actually quite a nice coffee, and it's amongst the cheapest. Yeah. And they do it in two versions: ordinary or decaffeinated.
Oh look, lekker juice, grumpy old lancer. Aloha from a grumpy old sapper. Royal Engineer on board. Welcome.
Okay.
It's an army thing, mate.
I gathered that because it said sapper. Right, if it had said slapper, I would have thought it was a ladyboy thing. But he didn't. He said sapper, so I did work it out, Mickey.
Yeah.
Looks like he was a Royal Lancer there.
I was. Look, it's on my T-shirt.
Oh, I see. Right, okay. Grumpy old Lancer. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I thought that, right, my eyesight is so bad, I thought that said, I'm a crap dancer.
Underneath it says, supply with beer tokens and egg banjos. An egg banjo being either an egg roll or an egg sandwich.
Okay.
Oh, he's in Hawaii. Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha
Do
then.
you live over there or are you on holiday? Lack of choices?
I don't think he was posted there, do you?
No, he wouldn't be posted, not if he's in the British Army.
No.
So probably on holiday. Well, he might have moved out there to live. We don't know, do we?
Does the American Army call them sappers?
I don't honestly know what they call them.
Oh.
Well, I know what I call them, but
Yeah. So it must be the British Army. So were you in the British Army, lack of choices, just out of curiosity, or does the American Army call? What exactly does a sapper do, Mickey?
the sapper is a Royal Engineer.
Okay, Royal Engineer.
He's retired. Yeah, Royal Engineer.
Yeah, but what do they actually do?
Well, they're the people that build the bridges across the rivers. They're the people that blow up things and stuff like that. Oh, US Army. So we still call them sappers.
Okay, they still call them sappers. I wonder where that came from. I wonder how that came from as a sapper.
No idea.
You talk to your sapper, mate. I'm going to Google the origin of the word sapper.
Yeah.
Talking involves moving your mouth and your vocal cords, Mickey.
Yeah, I'd love to get a word out sideways, you know. Demolition and explosives, that's what he was in. There you are, Steve, that tells you that.
Okay.
Which is exactly that. I mean,
okay. Sapper, military engineer. The name is derived from the French word sapper, spadework or trench.
Oh, right.
Oh, there you go.
They did dig the trenches during the First World War, but
yeah, there you go.
But, see, lack of choices. They actually put French word for.
Yeah, I never knew that. So yeah.
Now, nor did I, to be fair.
Yeah.
Engineer undermining. That's when they used to dig under the other trenches. In the First World War, Steve, they used to dig under other trenches.
Castle walls, Mickey.
Castle
walls. A long time before that.
Yeah. No, but they did. Yeah, but they also did it in the First World War. They dig under the German trenches, plant explosives, and then blow them up.
Yeah, no.
But the Germans would be doing that, and from what I've read, quite sometimes they'd actually meet, digging tunnels in opposite directions, which was quite. I should imagine quite a surprise for them.
Yeah.
To listen out for them.
Yeah. I know that undermining as lack of choice you said was castle walls. It was because
what they used to do with castle walls was they'd undermine them and then they'd set fires underneath.
Yep.
Underneath the walls, which then collapsed the stone.
Cause the stones to expand.
Yeah, and then collapse.
And collapse them. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's where the phrase undermining came about. So when somebody at work, when I used to have a job, and somebody said you're constantly undermining me, I had to go and look up her skirt to check.
Dear.
And I come back and I said I've lit no fires under there, and she said chance would be a fine thing. Never know.
Did I tell you I got arrested for telling a woman her hair smelled nice?
No.
Yeah, I took my head out of the skirt afterwards.
Oh right, okay. I think it's 2022, Mickey. We best not go down this road.
Well, yeah, no, I will not go down there.
No, we best not go down that road. No. Yeah, trench knives and bayonets, sappers and miners. I never. What's the other military term? The other day, somebody said about hoisted by your own petard. And I often wondered what that meant, and I googled it. And again, that comes from the French, and that was when French Grenadiers used to use a little bomb called a petard.
Yeah,
and they used to blow themselves up if they didn't get it right. So they were hoisted by their own petard. Strange expression that, but that's how that.
Bit like a hand grenade, I think they were.
Yeah, it was a hand grenade. That's what they're called, Grenadiers.
Yeah.
That's what they're called, Grenadiers. It's a little thing called a petard.
Yeah.
And if you got it wrong with the fuse, you'd end up blowing yourself up. So you were hoisted by your own petard. I found quite amusing, and yes, thank you for your service, Mickey, and thank you for your service. Lack of choices. I was never in the military. I tried to join the army when I was 16, and I failed the medical because I was colourblind. So I decided to try and join the Air Force, and I failed the medical there because I was colourblind. So I went on to become a printer, where I actually needed to have a good sense of colour. So you work that out, but I never got to serve. So I can't join in those things. I played war games, if that helps, but no, serve. I can't. I can't relate with people that have served. I can't relate that much to people that have served because I never got to do it. Right, moving on.
It's a whole different world, mate. It's a whole different world.
Yeah.
But,
well, like look at what Lack of Choices said. He's absolutely right.
And
membership is exclusive and only one-time payment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is only one-time payment. Yeah, you're right.
So we're moving on to what? What we're moving on to?
No, carry on, Mickey. You and Lack of Choices talk about your military exploits. Be my guest. Like I say, I can't really join in because I never actually served.
Well, then we can move on to a different subject.
I was just going to move on about iPhones. I mean, you know what? I think any Apple product is crap at the best of times.
I won't buy anything Apple.
No, I won't buy anything Apple. They're absolute rubbish, right? At the best of times. They're outdated technology, and they're actually bought by people that don't understand what it is they're buying, and they're bought as fashion accessories, not because they're any good. You've read the news story that yet another security update has been released by Apple.
Yeah.
Yet another one. That's about the fifth one this year. And yet people tell me, people with iPhones, right? They tell me how they're the best phones in the world. And I'm thinking, you've had 5 security updates this year. And I'm also bombarded with adverts, right, at the moment, by stuff that's telling me, don't throw your old Mac computer out. Use this software to speed it up. Because apparently all Mac computers are slowing down now, just like the iPhone scandal a couple of years back, where they deliberately put software on there.
They deliberately throttled them,
Yeah, to throttle them. And I'm thinking, these people, they're still buying iPhones in droves when they've been treated like this. And now it's 5 security updates in a year. That's just phenomenal.
I don't buy into the whole Apple brand ethos, or that you're actually locked in to Apple, even in their app stores, isn't it? You know, most of that is Apple.
Yeah.
In their iOS or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I don't like to be tied into one. With Android, you've got a choice.
Same with Windows.
Or a larger choice. You know, you've got a larger choice.
That Sappy Smile Seeker, security updates are not bad. Unless they're constant, which means that the stuff that they're updating is crap to start with.
Yeah,
that's what it means. When you've got 5 security updates in 8 months, it means that it's rubbish to start with, and they keep having to fix it. Why not just make it properly in the first place?
And what Lack of Choices says there.
Yeah.
Only good thing about Apple is it's harder for US law enforcement to get into. Not just US, it's US law enforcement, but any law enforcement. It is harder to break into the Apple OS, but once you do,
it's hard to get into from another phone, but from a computer, it's dead easy. Apparently, which is why they keep. What's that? There's been a couple of big drug busts in this country, in the UK, because people have been using this secret encryption service to communicate their drug deals, and it's only on iPhone. This encryption service is, and it turns out this completely secret encryption service isn't encrypted at all, because the police and intelligence services hacked it and broke it years ago, and all these people are sending these messages about drug deal, and they might as well just put up big posters. That's what you get from iPhone. I forget what it's called now. It's some sort of, it's like WhatsApp, but apparently it's meant to be really, really secure.
Yeah.
And it's on iPhone, but it's not, because they cracked it years ago. So that's more of the iPhone. Thank you for following me, Lack of Choices. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I just get a notification on Reddit when someone follows me.
Just a note on that, though, Lack of Choices. We are moving from the 29th of August will be our last stream on Reddit. We're going over to Twitch, the URL of which is in the picture between me and Woody there. So if you like our content, you can always join us over there on Twitch, which will be going out. We
haven't quite. We're experimenting. We're going out on Twitch tomorrow night. Funnily enough.
Yeah.
We're going out on Twitch tomorrow night. We'll be on Twitch from 8 o'clock tomorrow night. You won't be here, will you, Mickey?
No, I shan't be here tomorrow night.
It'll be me and Tracey tomorrow night. We're going out on Twitch tomorrow night. I'm experimenting on Twitch at the moment to work out which days are the best. But you should be able to find us on Twitch on Saturdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. There's a schedule on Twitch which tells you. But the Mickey, can you type your name for Happy Smile Seeker? But the biggest thing about Twitch, which Reddit doesn't have anymore, is a very simple one, right?
If you 5302.
If you follow me on Reddit, and I go online, you don't get notified. You used to 8 months ago, but it stopped working 8 months ago. And Reddit have said they're not interested in fixing it. If you follow me on Twitch and I go online, you get notified straight away. So that is the single biggest difference. It's also a lot more stable, a lot better quality, and unlike Poxy Reddit, it's in landscape. Landscape 16:9, not portrait 9:16. Lack of Choices. The name is up there. Look above my head. That's the URL for Twitch.
Twitch.tv/The Woody's Place. Woody's Place is all one word.
The Woody's Place. That's where you'll find us. I'll tap it in the chat, but that's where you'll find us on Twitch. And it's got the schedule on the front page there. You can also catch up with VODs, video on demand, of all of the streams that we've made over the last few weeks. And we're just experimenting these last 2 weeks to find out when the best time for us to go on Twitch is. But I can tell you that the last broadcast on Reddit for the Woody Show will be on the 29th. I do play a game called Empires and Allies, and I might broadcast that in the mornings when I play it. I haven't quite decided on that yet. That might be Reddit only. Same for YouTube. It's going to be the last day we broadcast on YouTube because Reddit have been disingenuous, and Reddit have been disingenuous towards streamers, which is why all the streamers are leaving. And I'm leaving YouTube as a streamer because I'm just not getting the figures. I mean, I've got 2 people on. I've got 7 people watching me on Reddit, and believe me, when I say this time last month, I was getting 300,000 people watching me. That's the difference that Reddit have made. No, not last month. 2 months ago, I was getting 300,000 people watching me. 300 to 500,000 people watching me on Reddit. And then Reddit decided they didn't want to concentrate on streaming so much, so they've killed streaming for all the streamers. You know, I've gone from 300,009. So, and all the big streamers have already left Reddit, and I'm just hanging on in the hope that Reddit change something, but I doubt if they will. But the biggest thing, all the streamers want a single thing from Reddit, right? They don't care if the software's crap. They don't care if it's buggy, right? All they want is to fix notifications, and Reddit have said, no, it's not happening. It's not worth it. Fine, we'll all go then. That's where we're going, yeah. So you couldn't see the big URL right in front of my face. Is that right? Is that right? Lack of choices. See, that's another reason why we're moving away from Reddit. I happen to know that from about there on your phone, all down the side of the screen. You've got all Reddit's crap. You've got all Reddit's crap. It's just absolute crap. Not total views, viewers. Not total views. Happy Smile Seek, viewers. Quite often I'd look down and I'd see I've got an instant, or watchers we call them. I've got an instant count here. Like at the moment it says watchers 9. It was in the 300 to 400,000 mark. So no, not total views. Total views is a lot higher. I mean, we've got 9 watchers, but the total views of this will probably be about 150, 160. I won't see the total views until the end of the broadcast. But I'm talking about 300 to 500,000 viewers during the broadcast. If you go and have a look on my YouTube, I posted one of the streams. My highest ever stream was, I'll tell you what it is. I'll look on my YouTube. 424,000 watchers on Reddit. 424,000. It's not a lie, not exaggeration. I captured the whole stream. It's on YouTube. You can go and see for yourself. And that's watchers. The total viewers on that was nearly 750,000. Oh, that's how much Reddit have changed things. And I don't like it very much at all. And that's why a lot of streamers have left. And that's why I'm going. So that's what it is. You don't really have to learn Twitch as such, like a choice. Twitch is very easy. Mickey?
It's exactly the same as using Reddit, basically. You just find us and then you just chat away the same as you are here. So, it's no different.
Except it's that way round.
Yeah.
And not that way round, which what
we
are now.
It's a good thing or a bad thing, but you can actually see more of us.
Put it this way, right? When I'm streaming, you don't believe what, Happy Smile Seeker? You don't believe what?
But you had 300,000 views.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't mind if you don't believe it. However, I can prove it. I don't need to look into it. These are Reddit's figures, and I can prove it. But Mickey, chat shit for the moment.
Well, I always chat shit, but I'll just chat some more shit.
Yeah, just chat some more shit for the moment. Hang on, let me just go on to YouTube Studio.
And Steve will find the bit that you're looking for.
I'll actually screenshot it and call it up.
He said he's seen a few thousand here on a pub night.
Yeah.
But
a few 100,000.
Yeah, a few 100,000 on a pub night. I think you used to get more on your pub nights than we did
on
pub
nights. Yeah, but I've had to stop that because of
because you can't go out.
Oh.
So what day were they? A Sunday night, were they? The pub nights?
Yep. Right. There you go. There you go. If you don't believe me, go and look for yourself. I actually captured the whole stream. In fact, I've got it here on Reddit. I should have captured it on Reddit. It should be on my profile. Hang on. It should be on my profile. Yeah, Mickey, entertain the troops for a minute. I'll find it on Reddit.
It says on there over 424,000 people watched this live stream.
Hang on, I'll find it on Reddit because Reddit you'll get the actual screen come up on Reddit and it should be on my profile. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, I've got to go back through thousands of messages. Thousands and thousands of messages. I'll find it. Oh. I'll find it. Keep talking, Mickey. No dead air.
It says, happy smile seat. It says you have no idea how much time I spend here. Well, I don't know.
No, I'm not saying total views. I'm saying watchers.
I don't know.
Current watchers. I will find it on Reddit and you'll actually see the watch count come up at the bottom. I mean, it's on my profile. I'm going to find it, but I can't do that while I'm talking to Mickey. So,
You're
sorry, carry on,
talking,
Mickey.
no. So that's why I'm waffling. But looking at that YouTube video, it says 424,000 watched this live stream, which to me, if they watched this live stream, means to me that they had watched it live. Or is that not correct? I mean,
No, it's unfortunately it's not context because it didn't when I didn't realise it. I've only looked at it back on YouTube now. It didn't capture the overlay showing the count like it does on Reddit. So go on, carry on.
oh right, no, I just wonder what it was. I've got this. Funny part is I just got this veteran medicated for your protection baseball cap. Absolutely hilarious. I'd love one of them, to be fair. Yeah. I've got a couple who just says, well, grumpy old answer. But I think we all get grumpier as we get older.
Good God, I post this on.
Yeah, he certainly does. But yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm back to 19 days ago and I'm already sick of scrolling. Pretty sick of scrolling.
Well, depend. I can't remember how long ago that was.
I can't remember the exact date either, and I didn't capture it on the YouTube thing. So just carry on talking. I will get through with it.
Yeah.
I've just got to keep going through my profile until I find it. I can't even remember what it was called. But obviously, Happy Smile Seeker disbelieves me. But I have the evidence here.
I don't think you got anything to prove, really.
I haven't. I know I haven't. But...
I was talking about. I was talking about that guy that hid his new bride's body out of the house. Is that they've actually got CCTV footage now on ITV News of him actually dragging the suitcase down while the police are knocking on the front door. I know it's not funny that he's murdered his wife. I just find it amusing that he's trying to hide it while they're already hammering on the door. It just tickled me, really.
Did you see what lack of choices he's saying there?
PM me and I'll get you one from the VA hospital. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll do that later on. Lack of choices, that'd be real cool. I'm quite happy to pay postage or whatever.
I've got to go back.
Yeah. We've got back months already, I should imagine.
Oh, I found Nigel Farage's love child.
DJ Polsey is a bit quiet there over on Facebook. I think there's only him there watching us now.
I've stopped watching Facebook because I'm struggling to go. I've got to go through my profile. I'm back now to the. I'm back now to the 2 months ago, and it was around that time. So I've got to find.
Oh, so you're over 60s, came to London. Have you ever been to London? Lack of choices. Have you ever been to our country? Outrigger canoe. I should imagine that's the ones like the Hawaiian canoes with the poles with a like a bit like what I'd call a catamaran if it was a yacht.
I didn't realise I did so many streams on Reddit. Jesus.
Well, that's because you do your daytime. Do you do your gaming ones on here as well?
No, I stopped those. I stopped those when the summer started because in the mornings it's really hot in my computer room, and I don't have a shirt on, and I don't like the idea of. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I don't like the idea of streaming without a shirt on.
No, but you'd watch a young lady streaming without her shirt on.
No, not really. Not really. It's not. It's actually, believe it or not, I'm not into casual pornography. Not into casual pornography at all, Mickey.
No, just Pornhub.
Oh, no, hardcore porn I watch, yeah, but I don't. It's but that's for a different thing. A casual pornography, I don't watch. Good God. Oh, just having a beer and chatting.
Well, RF Mildenhall's about 50 miles from me, so it's not far. Well, Lake and Heath and
No,
Milden are
that's
all
not the
very
one.
close together. In fact, yeah, down Thetford way.
This might be
So
the one.
I know it quite well.
This might be the one.
It's a military brat, eh? You found it. I spent most of my service in Germany, to be fair, rather than over here. So that was nice. I enjoyed Germany. I enjoyed that a lot. Like the people, like the country, very clean, and it also gave you a base of, excuse me, travelling around the rest of Europe as well, which if I hadn't been in the army, I probably wouldn't have been able to do. But yeah, I think Steve is still looking for his.
I'm still looking for that. I've gone back. I'm now back to 2 months
crawling
ago.
up my screen.
Don't believe how many bloody.
Spider crawling up my screen. Up my screen.
I don't believe how many broadcasts I've actually made. I've just got to, and how much I spend on. I spend so much time on Reddit. It's unbelievable. So I've just got to find the right stream. So I'm going back. I'm going back gradually, and I know it's on my profile because I've seen it there the other day. I've just got to remember where. I can't remember what it was called, and there's no. I don't think there's any easy way of searching my profile for what I want. No, there isn't. If I search pub, it'll call up every Reddit post that's ever been made about a pub.
Yeah.
There's no easy way of searching for it. So I have to literally go onto my profile and I have to scroll backwards until I find it. I wish there was some easy way of doing it. I wish there was, but there isn't. So unfortunately.
You could be there all night, mate, trying to find that.
I'm going to find it. I'm determined because they've called me. They basically said I'm a liar. Well, I'm not, and I can prove it, and I will find it. Because the figures are actually on the bottom corner, and it actually tells you the number of watchers, not the total number of viewers, the total number of watchers.
Yeah.
And I will find it.
Yeah, I never got to Berlin, lack of choices. When I was there, they still had the borders up when I was there. Bear in mind that was back in the 70s, so Nicole O'Keefe, who dad was got sergeant in Berlin. Yeah, I never actually got to Berlin. Someplace I'd like to have gone because I'd like to have seen. Although we did border patrols from where I was, I'd have liked to actually seen the Berlin Wall with all the graffiti on it, but I never got a chance to see that.
God almighty.
Now, obviously, it's all gone. So, yeah.
I think this is the one. I think I found it.
Ah.
I think I have found it. Let me double check. Uh, 503 points, 1.3 thousand comments. I think this is the one. So carry on, Mickey. We'll just.
Yeah, no, I was just reading what Lack of Choices put there. His dad was platoon sergeant in Berlin Brigade. He left the forces in the 90s. Yeah. Good time to leave, I think. That's when it all started kicking off again. I was fortunate that, well, it depends which way you look at it, fortunate, unfortunate. But I never actually saw active service.
There it is.
Other than Northern Ireland. Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I just posted the URL. Whether the URL now posts in the bloody... Oh, the URL's not going to post, for fuck's sake. Oh, I don't believe it. The URL's not going to post. Oh, how am I going to do this? I'm going to do this. How am I going to do this? I've got it. I've actually shared it on my page, but I know there's got to be a way that I can get into it. And I can't work out exactly how to get into it to show the actual... Oh, I think we're into it. Yes, we're into it. Right, we're into it. And you can see for yourself, because the viewer count is on the bottom and it's concurrent. It's not... there you go. You tell me. Oh, Reddit has stopped me from posting the URL. I don't believe this.
No.
Oh, this is a nightmare. Right, okay. How can I do this? I know. I'll do it this way. But for some reason, I can't send it in the Reddit chat. Right, let's go on to Reddit itself. I'm doing it in RPAN. Let's see if I can send it from Reddit. Send it from Reddit. Right, there we go. Reddit. Hopefully that should come out on Reddit. I don't know if... I don't know. Can anybody on Reddit see that URL that I've just posted? Or has the auto moderate? No, you're not. Can you watch it on Reddit, Mickey, and tell me if you can see?
On Reddit.
It's between joined in the 1990s and we left Germany.
No, it's not there.
All right, let's try it. Let's try taking off reddit.com. Right, all you've got to do is add reddit.com to this. See if that posts. That's not going to... Yes, there we go.
Yes, there you go.
There you go. There you go. If you add reddit.com to that, that will take you to the stream, which will tell you... here we go. And I'll make a screenshot from it. I will make a screenshot from it. 1.3 thousand comments. I guess I'm lying about that, am I? And 504 upvotes. I guess I'm lying about that as well. Let's have a look. And there's the screenshot from it. Oh. I don't tell lies. I really don't tell lies. I've got no reason to lie. Right, let's just put this screenshot up for a minute. So you can either follow that URL and go and see the live stream, which I've just found, or you can check it from the screenshot. Either way, I don't care. If you don't believe it from that, then that's your problem and not mine. There we go. 1.3 thousand comments, 504 upvotes, and 424,536 viewers. There you go. Like I said, all there. I couldn't keep up with the chat that day. That was unbelievable. And you can see the live stream at that URL that I showed you. But for some reason, Reddit won't let me post that URL. So I'm actually going to be crafty. I'm going to go to Bitly, and I'm going to. I've got a Bitly account, so I'm going to URL shorten it, and hopefully it'll let me past. It'll let me post that as a Bitly link, so you can get into it. So, I don't have an account. So, no, I do have an account.
Charlie Bow. Charlie Bow says, "What animal do you win a fight against? Probably a rabbit. Anything bigger than that, and then no, I don't think so. Not for me anyway. I'd rather cuddle them than fight them. Even if it's a lion, I'd rather cuddle it than fight it."
Sorry, I've got problems that I've got to check in with Bitly now. It's gonna bloody.
No, you're right. No problem at all.
It's Gmail I checked in with, right? Okay, it was Gmail I checked. Got the Bitly. Log in with Gmail. So it was Gmail, right? Okay. I can never remember which one I captured, but there you go. There's a screenshot from the actual.
Porcupine will be a bit sticky.
Can you see the screenshot, Mickey?
I can, yeah.
What does it say?
All it is a picture of you, and at the bottom it says 424,358 views.
Yeah. Now look to the right of that with that red arrow.
504.
Yep.
What's that? 500?
That's how many upvotes. You don't get that many upvotes for just having a few hundred viewers.
Yeah.
And also 1.3 thousand messages. I see all those messages on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
There were 1.3 thousand of those in that chat. Again, you wouldn't get those if you were just imagining it. Right, where are we? Let's see if this link works. Oh, why won't it send that link? For God's sake. Why is the auto moderator removing those? Oh. If it removes. There it is, right. There you go. Right. So, like I said, it has got that's the stream. It's on my profile. I found it after a little bit of search. If you want to go and find it, that's down to you. But 424,534. It's there. It's all there. Look, you can see it on the screenshot. It's all there. And go and have a look. I posted the URL to the stream, and you can go and check it yourself. 525 or 424,000 people watching me. Like I said, the total stats were 1.3 thousand comments in that stream. I literally couldn't keep up with it. It's an absolute nightmare. Oh yeah, an unbelievable. Right, well there you go. You can go and look, and believe it or not, I don't care. I've done everything I can to prove it. Any more than that, and that's fine. Right. Anyway, yes. Sorry, Mickey. I've completely distracted from your conversation there.
No, carry on.
How about a porcupine? You have a stick as a weapon.
Yeah, it's fighting animals. What animal would you fight? Could you win a fight against? I'd say the rabbit, because but I'd rather cuddle an animal than fight it. But then again, if it was a skunk, I think I'd think twice about cuddling it. But yeah.
I watched Predator Prey last night.
Actually, I saw you said that on
Facebook.
On Facebook there, yeah, and it's on Netflix.
No, it's not. It's on Disney Plus.
Oh, sorry, Disney Plus. You're correct.
Disney
which
Plus.
I'm going to watch tomorrow.
Okay, it's excellent. I won't tell you what it's about, right? All I will tell you is
I do know it's about an Indian woman, an Indian girl, and obviously Predator. But I've seen the trailer, but that's about it. So
I thought it was excellent film, excellently done, and it does link back to Predator 2, which if you've ever seen Predator 2, you'll understand. Yeah. But it was a very, very good film, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only problem, as one of my friends said, I thought it could have been longer. It was only 1 hour and 40 minutes.
I was going to say it's only about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, but it was a good film. It was an excellent film, Predator Prey. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the first one. The second one, not so much. And then after that, I didn't watch any of the others, to be fair.
Oh, the second one was my favourite.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, the one with Danny Glover. That was the best one of the lot.
Yeah.
That's actually the best Predator of the lot.
And then
this new one's good, but it's still not as good as Predator 2.
What was the one under the ice? Was that Predator 2?
No, that was AVP. Alien versus Predator.
That was shit.
I like that one as well. I'm not sure whether it was AVP or AVP Requiem. It was one of the two.
Yeah,
I think it was AVP.
Yeah, but I didn't like that very much either. But the first one I liked a lot. Second one I found okay, and then like I say, I didn't watch anymore. I did watch AVP, and lack of choice. You said the first all First Nation cast in full-length film history. I'm
laughing at what Killer Tofu said, Mickey.
You're not the first one to say
no,
that.
You're not the first one to say that.
Huh? And how can you call me things like that with a name like Tofu, for Christ's sake? Huh?
Oh.
Jesus. Huh? Robert England. Do I look like Freddy Krueger? Is that with or without the makeup?
I actually I didn't know what Prey was about. I'd never seen the trailer for Prey. All I saw was the original picture with the girl with the green stripe across her face.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what to expect. My mate, because it was only released on the 5th of August. My mate told me on Tuesday that Prey was out and he'd seen it, and he kept telling me. He kept telling me, trying to tell me what it was all about, and I kept telling him to fucking shut up. Because I hate that when somebody tells me about a movie.
No, I don't want to know.
I don't want to watch it, which is why I'm not going to tell you about it.
No, I don't.
And he kept, and every time I said, shut up talking about the movie, he said, I'm not talking about it. And then he proceeds to talk about it. I said, shut up, shut up, shut up. In the end, I chucked him out of the house. Right? I said, go home. Don't tell me about it.
But yeah.
And I sat down and watched it because I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know anything about the plot. I'm not a hardcore fan that IMDb's everything. Yeah. And I sat down and watched it, and I actually thought it was quite an enjoyable movie, and it was quite well done. And I think it's worth a watch, Mickey. That's all I can say.
Yeah. The thing is, I'll have to watch it in the daytime when the wife's at work. Otherwise, I'll get killed for turning off the bloody soaps that she watches.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, I'll watch it in the daytime. I don't know.
DJ Paulsy P on Facebook said, was this the famous phone box stream? Did you ever watch the famous phone box stream?
No. Oh, I did.
That's the one. That's the one.
See it. Where, is that the
that is exactly the same stream. That is the one.
Where some guy reckoned that was a
green screen, yeah.
A green screen behind you.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one. Oh.
Unreal. But lack of choice, he said they tied a private out the window for doing that back in Korea. Telling people about the movie.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Well, that's why I'm not going to tell you about it, apart from to say that it's a good film, and it's well worth watching, and it's Predator done in a completely different way, and I like the way they did it, and
Am I right in understanding that it's supposed to be a prequel to the
I can't say. I'm not going to tell you, Mickey, because like I say, there comes a point in the film where it relates quite seriously. There's a bit in the film which ties it in quite nicely with Predator 2. And anyone that's seen Prey will know exactly what I'm talking about. So I can't really tell you when it was set. I'm just telling you that it's worth seeing, all right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'll put that on my to-do list for tomorrow, although I've got a fairly busy schedule tomorrow.
I think saying it's a prequel isn't giving it away. I think saying it's a prequel, because I think they advertise it as a prequel. I don't want to give much. I don't want to give any of the plot away.
No. So don't tell me anymore. We'll go on to a different subject. Let's get away from this. But I shall have to get up a little bit earlier in the morning so that I can watch it in full. I'd put it on tonight when I go to bed, but by the time the titles are finished, I'll probably be asleep. So
I noticed our watches have increased on Reddit. So can I just give my public announcement, my warning again to people?
You can do what you
wish. All right, people in America and people in the United Kingdom, all right? Now, if you've killed anybody and buried them in a reservoir, lake or river, now's the time to start worrying, all right? So if you did that 20 years ago, you need to be worrying. Okay? That's my public warning. Hand yourselves in now because you're going to get caught, all right? Especially if you did it in Lake Mead, all right? Especially if you buried anybody in Lake Mead, or in a barrel in Lake Mead, but anybody that's buried anybody in a river or a reservoir or a lake, you're going to get caught with this heat wave. I mean, Lake Mead, Mickey, has dropped 170 feet in water level, which is a phenomenal amount. And I know that the King George Reservoir we've got here in London is at half capacity at the moment. That's a tremendous amount of water Las Vegas. Lake Mead out there by Las Vegas. So if any of you out there have buried any bodies in and hidden them in a body of water, I'd surrender now, because you're going to get caught in the next few days when the water evaporates.
I saw some pictures of Lake Garda.
Oh, in Italy, yeah.
Yeah, and that's I mean, my wife's been there and I haven't, and she said it's looks totally not like it normally was. She reckoned that's probably dropped about 100, 150 feet. because people are walking right out onto the rocks, and she said there is no rocks. The water's normally right up to the trees. But so, I mean, yeah, it's not just here. I think it's everywhere around, well, Europe and America. Well, probably across the world, I should imagine. Northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere.
Get your head working, Mickey. Get your head working.
Yeah, get my
Get your
teeth
teeth
sorted out.
Right? Get your teeth sorted out.
Lack of choices. Mafia Cemetery, aka the Hoover
Dam. Yeah.
I do like that. Yeah.
But like I say, it's everybody that seems to be buried in Lake Mead or reservoirs at the moment is being uncovered with these heat waves. So if you buried anybody, you've got to. Mickey, why have I written cock on my paper?
Because you reckoned that yours was bigger than mine.
No, that's not what I said at all. I wrote the word cock on my paper. Right, for anybody that doesn't understand, right, I write little notes during the day of things that I want to talk about on air, little crib sheets. And I wrote cock on this because, and then I realised when my wife, look, well, she's not my wife, but when she looks at it, she could have come in and say, "Oh, I see, you've been Googling cock, have you?" And I've just got no choice but to sit there and say yes. But no, I haven't been Googling cock. I know what we wanted to talk about, Mickey. Yep, you reminded me. We're going to talk about cock. Yeah.
Yes.
I've never been one to boast on the size of it. I've never been. It's never. You know. You get all these people say, "Oh yeah, well I've got a big one. I've got like 8 inches, or that I've been told that I've got a big one. I don't have a small one." I've never ever boasted on that at all. I just don't tell people. In fact, I say the exact opposite. When they question me about it on Facebook, as they do, because some people are obsessed with cock sizes on Facebook, I just say, "Look, I'm hung like a worm and I've got a micro penis," and they just go away and leave me alone. And I've never ever boasted on it. Never been one of those men that's boasted on it, Mickey. Never, ever.
No, nor me, mate. I mean, I know mine works. I've got 2 kids to prove it. You've got your 4, The wife enjoys it, and so
she enjoys mine more.
Either that or she's fucking lying.
She enjoys mine more.
It probably does, yeah. Probably don't feel it.
Yeah. So yeah. Like you say, it works. I've got 4 kids. It works.
Yeah. So,
and I've never seen the point in boasting on it. It doesn't make you more of a man. It doesn't mean the bigger the cock you've got, the more of a man you are. The smaller the cock you've got, the less of a man you are. And I've just never understood it. But people do boast on it. It's how some people just measure manliness. What I can tell you is that in my time, I have been to quite a few nudist beaches. I've been to the one in Dorset here, Studland Beach, which is a nudist beach. I've been to Brighton, the nudist part of Brighton, which is a nudist beach, and I've been to the one on the Isle of Wight, just outside of Sandown, which is a nudist beach. I've also been to ones over abroad, in Maspalomas, Mickey.
Maspalomas,
yep, Maspalomas, the other side of the dunes.
Gran Canaria.
And I've got my kit off. I've stripped naked, and I've got on the nudist beach. And I'll tell you the one thing about a nudist beach. Right? I love nudist beaches because they are great levelers. When you're naked amongst lots of other naked people, it doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank. It don't matter how big your house is. It don't matter what car you drive. You're exactly as equal as the person standing next to you. It really is a great social leveler. And it also gives you a fascinating insight into men that actually boast on their cock sizes, and you think, yeah, okay, seriously, you really shouldn't be boasting on that. You just think, you think that's big, do you? You think that's big? Well, you should really try watching some porn films. There you go.
But no.
You can't join in with this conversation about naturist beaches, can you?
Well, I have been down Las Palomas sand dunes, and my wife dared me to strip off naked, and I told her to do one night.
I did. Huh? There's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I'd do it. I said I'd do it if you did it, but she weren't willing to do it, so why should I? But what we did see, we were out on a boat trip, and honestly, I had to scour my brain. Was a yacht came the other way, a party boat full of Germans, and they were all naked, which you'd think, oh, rather nice. But they must have all been in their 60s and 70s. And there's a guy stood on the top, sort of jiggling his hips so it was all flopping about. And no, mate, that weren't a pretty sight. But that sent Donna off cackling anyway. So, but it what? No, it
I'm so fat. I'm so fat. I could jiggle my own tits.
They were so brazen about it. They were Germans too. But yeah, that was funny.
I see that. I see that Lack of Choices says the lava tubes and deep water with chicken wire and stones keeps the bodies down. That's a good way of doing it. But yeah, that's why I've got cock written on my paper. That's right. I just have to remember. Then I thought, with my missus, she's not my missus. We're not married, which is why we've been together so long. I've actually been married twice and divorced twice. And the longest relationship I've had with a woman is with the woman I'm currently with. And it's only the longest relationship because we've never got married to each other. So there you go. That's the secret to a long relationship. Don't get married.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been with mine, 38 years? Mind you, we have only been married for 22, so I guess there's still time.
When I was 18, when I was 17, 18, I was more mature than a lot of my friends, and all I wanted my own family. I wanted my own house and my own family, which I got. I bought my own house at the age of 25. I bought my first house at the age of 25 because I had a wife and I had at that time 2 kids. I had 2 kids, and I was in a position. I was 28 actually, 28 not 25. A wife and 2 kids, and I was in a position where I could buy my own house. It was an ex-council house, and I got a whopping discount. I got a £100,000 house for just over £20,000, which was a hell of a bargain. This will date it. This was in the 1982, Mickey, or 1984, when Margaret Thatcher was selling off council houses.
Yeah. I wanted to buy mine then, but because the wife is a joint tenant, she wouldn't let me buy it. So I'm still living in the same house now.
Bought or still renting?
Still renting it.
I actually bought my house. I actually got the mortgage. The mortgage was dead easy to get, and because my wife was a joint tenant, she agreed to it. We all thought it was a good idea, and we actually bought the house. That lasted a whole 2 years until my wife decided to cheat on me. And that ended my marriage. And she went off. She left me and the kids. She left me and the kids to go and live with the bloke that she was seeing. So I had to give up work to look after by then we had 4 kids. We didn't have 2 more kids rapidly. My last 2 kids were twins. She was having an affair. She had an affair with the bloke that she worked with, who also happened to be my best mate at the time. And I caught her, and then she had another affair with somebody else she worked with, and decided to bugger off and go and live with him, and left me with the kids and the house. So of course I had to give up work, so I couldn't keep up the mortgage payments because I'd given up work. The benefit system paid the interest on the mortgage, which was what they did, but that didn't help because I still had to pay the principal, and I couldn't do it. And the longer I was looking after the kids for, the worse the debt become. So in the end, I just handed the keys back to the building society and said, "I'm sorry, I can't go on. You know, it's not my fault. I had a job. I had a job where I was extremely well paid and I could easily afford the mortgage. So I handed the keys back to the building society, and I became homeless, although I wasn't technically homeless because I handed the keys back and they gave me 2 weeks before I had to get out, and then the council rehoused us to where I am now.
Like a Joyce says, he's having an affair with his ex-wife due to COVID living space in Hawaii. She owns half of our house, so they co-domicile. We got both the best of both worlds there then. Hey, you got somebody to clean and...
My set.
Oh, you're half Samoan. Right, and she's half Apache.
Okay. No wonder he enjoyed prey.
And you're in Hawaii.
No wonder he liked prey.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But it is the first film that's been made with a full Indigenous cast.
First Nation. Yeah, it was. I could have because whenever I watch a movie, Mickey, I always watching subtitles, right? And the subtitles, I could have chosen Comanche subtitles. Yeah.
All right.
Seriously, it came up in the list of subtitles that I could have chosen. Comanche was one of them, so I was well impressed. I don't speak a word of Comanche, but I was well impressed.
And lack of choice is that you can't agree on anything except the kids, which is yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. But that's what I find a lot of. Do you know when people split up, is that they use the kids as a weapon to beat the other one with, and I think that is totally
no.
wrong.
My first wife didn't. My second wife, I know you know her, Mickey. She doesn't want anything to do with me. She's even blocked me on Facebook. She has nothing to do with me at all. Don't want anything to do with me at all. So I'm quite happy like that. She now lives 400 miles away, and I think that's about the right distance, to be honest. I certainly wouldn't have an affair with her. No, God. I certainly wouldn't have an affair with my first wife. Not after what she did to me. No, thank you. Stirring another man's porridge. No, thanks.
No.
I know you know my second wife, so I won't say any more. I won't say any more.
No. She might be watching.
She might be watching. I mean, all I'll tell you is, Mickey, right? All I'll tell you about my second wife is because a lot of mine and your mutual friends know my second wife, and all I'll say about my second wife is, believe what you want, what you've been told, but here I am. Make your own mind up about who was right.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah. But I'm not one of these to judge one or the other, to be fair, because I wasn't there. I don't know the facts. So it's none of my bloody business. So I just keep my nose out, to be fair.
It's long gone. It's long gone.
Yeah. I mean, I must have felt lucky, I think, because, I mean, like I say, I've been with Donna for 38 years now, and still
Which
happy.
is what I said. It's something that I always wanted, and something that sometimes, Mickey, when I see people like yourself that have had a relationship that long, my heart does sink a little, and not. But this is me, not you. This is me. My heart does sink a little because I never had that relationship, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to get married for life.
Yeah. But, I think, and without going into too much detail, both me and my wife had very poor childhoods. So I think that we were determined that once we had kids, that we weren't going to put them through that sort of stuff that we had when we were young. So it makes you work that little bit harder, I think.
Fair enough.
And we can relate to each other. It's very difficult to say. We can relate to each other on like a different level to people who've had a stable family upbringing with two parents. I mean, I didn't have any parents, none. I'm a product of being brought up in council care, so from the age of 3. So you know, you can see where I'm coming from.
Okay, can you see what lack of choices you're saying here? See what lack of choices you're saying here?
Can't trust the kids or the dogs. Both will eat us if we go and die. Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually had COVID, but it was just like flu for me. So
I've not had it.
But that's because I've had the. But that's because I had the jabs. I'd hate to think what it would have been like if I hadn't had the jabs. But
I've had 5 jabs.
You do realise I haven't had my 5-minute time out.
I know. I've been very proud of it, Mickey, that you haven't been smoking. Well done, you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Do you want a 5-minute time out? Do you want to go and have a smoke?
I could do with a 5. I could do with a 5.
Hang on. Mickey wants. Don't take too long because I'm dying for a wee, Mickey.
Well, go first. That's fine.
Oh, hang on. I've got to unplug myself. No, you go. Yeah, I'll unplug myself. Hang on. Oh.
I don't want to hear it pitter pattering on the floor, mate.
I can't. It's not a cordless mic. It's a wide mic. So I won't hear it pitter patter.
No, I mean, if you sat there much longer, you'd probably
Oh
be
yeah, yeah,
pitter
yeah,
pattering on
yeah.
the floor.
Oh, the nappy's.
So, oh well, that's fine.
Oh, hold the fault, Mickey.
Yes, I can hold a fort. I can talk to lack of choice. We can talk military things, all they both military kids. Her dad was a command sergeant major. Mine was a company 1SG. What's a 1SG? First sergeant. Is that? Because I mean, obviously your ranks are slightly different to ours here in the UK. Oh, you've got what? I don't know. I don't know what we got. Well, it's all gone quiet now. I always get a bit tongue-tied when Steve's isn't here because
I'm back.
I'm not. Here he comes. I'm not one for talking. I'm normally one to respond to people talking to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll disappear you now, Mickey. Let me know when you're back. All right. Right, Mickey's just disappeared. Give me a second while I put my. I've got a clip on mic right there, so let me just put my mic back on. I have got a radio mic, but I keep thinking, I keep forgetting about the radio mic when I go to the toilet and leaving it on when I go to the toilet, which is really great if you've got diarrhea. Right, okay. Mickey's gone off to have a cigarette now. What I've said to Mickey, the other person that streams with me is Tracey. And what I've said to Mickey is, I don't smoke and Tracey doesn't smoke. What I've said to Mickey is that I don't really want him smoking on my stream. The reason I don't want him smoking on my stream is because some advertisers, they're the ones that pay the bills on YouTube and Twitch. Some advertisers will not advertise on a stream where somebody is smoking. So I've no problem with Mickey smoking. I'm not a reformed smoker. I'm not one of these born again smokers that lectures people on smoking. I've got no problem with Mickey smoking at all. I just won't have him doing it on the stream. I hope that makes sense. So he'll be back in a minute when he's had his cigarette. So he can smoke all of he want. So was I a typesetter or an engraver? I was neither. My actual job title was planner, plate maker, printer. All right. I was in offset lithography, offset litho, and I served an apprenticeship, and I was camera operator. You can chuck camera operator. A litho planner is somebody that plans out how you're going to lay out something, and then once you've done that, then I would take the artwork to the camera and I would photograph it to produce the 4 different color negatives from the 3 primary colors plus black. And then from the negatives, I'd make the plates, and then from the plates, I'd put them on the printing press to the final thing, until Apple come along with Quark Express and did me out of a job, which was another story. But that's what I was. I was a printer, planner, camera operator, and plate maker. All the essential qualities for offset litho. Lack of choices, if that's what you're asking me. So, linotype and typesetting was letterpress. We called that here. Letterpress typesetting was the old-fashioned one. I was offset litho, offset lithography, which is a simple principle that oil and water don't mix. Which no, not for newspapers, for magazines because I colour. So it wasn't for newspapers. Newspapers were, when I started out as a printer in 1976, when I started my apprenticeship. Some of the newspapers were still using letterpress with the old typesetting. They didn't go to litho until the mid 1980s. But no, it was magazines that I was mainly printing. Like the supplements you get in the newspapers, I was mainly printing those, and other magazines, all sorts of like Ideal Home and Cosmopolitan were 2 that I can remember printing back then in the 1980s when I was a printer. Colour brochures, holiday brochures. So we used to do an awful lot of holiday brochures for a company called Cosmos. You won't have heard of them because they became somebody else in the mid 1990s, but a company called Cosmos. We used to produce all of their holiday brochures. So typesetting was a different discipline to me, much older discipline, much more skilled discipline, I think. So I know you can see your grandfather was in Boston, but it was a different discipline to me. I was on more on the technical side of producing, because you can't produce colour with typesetting. You can't get half tones, but you can with offset lithography, which is where I was doing it with the magazines. Doing that. What I was going to say in Boston as well. So I bet you had some stories to tell. Oh, we earned some money in those days. We earned some money. So when my wife left me and the kids, and I had to give up work, I was absolutely distraught. I'd gone from having a massive monthly income to virtually nothing. In 1991, I think it was 92, I was on 3 times the national wage. Whatever the national wage was, I was on 3 times the national wage, because I was a skilled tradesman, a skill that's nobody wants, because computers do it all. No, what I was saying was this: I'm not anti-smoking. I've never been anti-smoking. I used to smoke. I gave up smoking 3.5 years ago, and I don't have any sort of problem with people smoking. I mean, like Mickey's gone off to have a cigarette. Like I say, the only thing that I've asked him is not to smoke on the stream, which he doesn't. And if he wants a cigarette, I just kill him off, because some advertisers won't advertise when there's been smoking on the stream, and that's how you make your money on places like YouTube and Twitch, from adverts. So you've got to be very careful about that. Excuse me 1 second. Pepsi Max. I don't like full fat Pepsi, with sugar and everything, horrible. And I don't like Diet Pepsi because sweeteners taste awful. So I've got Pepsi Max, which is lovely, gorgeous. Nuclear Potatoes asked me who I am. That's a very good question. Psychiatrists and police officers have been asking me this a lot. And yes, I can help you with your depression. If you watch me long enough, you'll certainly get more and more depressed. Oh right, found that out before a COVID at a family reunion. Got his typesetter union ID. All right, okay, that's a piece of history. That's a piece of history that's long gone. Like I say, my arm of printing was done away with in the late 1990s, which I think the typesetting disappeared in about the mid 1980s. But it is still part of the history, so that's worth keeping. I mean, I've got my union ID. I was in a union called SOGAT 92, so well, that was the union what it's called when I left. It's called SODAC 92. Prior to that, it was called SOGAT, which is Society of Graphic Artists and Typesetters. Although I wasn't a typesetter, I was a graphic artist, which is another reason why, although you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but I do my own logos and I do my own emotes. That was one of the unions I was in, and the other union I was in was oh bugger me, I've forgotten. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm completely crazy, and yeah, if you watch me, Nuclear Potatoes, I guarantee your depression will just get worse, right? Just get worse. But that's a fascinating thing to find out about a relative, their lack of choices. I can hear you rattling your mic, Mickey. Does that mean you're back, or you still? All right, it's all right. Yeah, it wasn't called Unite. It was something else. Do you know what? We're going back to '92, and I ended up in SOGAT '92, and I forget what union I was in before then. It wasn't called Unite though. And yeah, the last union I was in was SOGAT. Okay, let's bring Mickey back. He's finished smoking. We'll have a conversation about smoking, I think. Conversation about smoke.
Yeah, well, don't ask me why I smoke, because I couldn't tell you.
That's all right.
It's something I've done for a long time. Something I've done. I think I'm going to go and exercise, drink some water and exercise. That's absolutely good for you, and it's good for your mental health.
If I drank water and exercised, I'd get depressed.
Yeah. Beer and exercise is even funnier.
Can't you get a beer and watch TV? Get a beer and watch Predator Prey. That'll cheer you up.
Yeah. Yeah, I am going to watch that tomorrow,
Yeah.
Steve. Something then we can talk about on Monday's stream when I'm back.
Lack of choice, he says. I was an unapologetic smoker. My daughter got me off of it. I smoked cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco. I don't think you smoked chewing tobacco. I think you chewed it. God, I miss it. I miss it. I smoked cigarettes. I used to roll my own cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes, you know, the ones you got in the box. We call them tailor-mades. I've never tried chewing tobacco. I never liked it, but I did like after a nice meal, right? A meal with, I did like a nice cigar. And I've got to be honest, when I go down the pub, I used to go down the pub a lot. There's nothing like a nice smoke when you've got a drink, is there, Mickey?
Exactly.
It is a lovely.
I think that's why I
thing.
keep going back to it.
But I don't miss it. I don't miss it the slightest. January the 19th, 2019, I gave it up. That was the last day I smoked, and I went bang, cold turkey, no cutting down. I gave it straight up, and Mickey up there lied to me. He did. He lied to me. I took a medication. My doctor prescribed something called Champix, which I don't know what it's called in the United States, but it's called Champix here. And he said, if you take this, you won't crave nicotine for 60 days, I think it was, I had it. And he said, at the end of 60 days, you'll have given up smoking because you won't want a cigarette. So I started taking Champix from day one, and it's absolutely right. It took completely away my craving for a cigarette. And by the time I finished the course, I just didn't want a cigarette, and I've never wanted a cigarette since. But Mickey, when I went on Champix, Mickey there said to me, oh, be very careful, you'll have some lurid dreams. He owes me lurid dreams because I've never had lurid dreams. I was looking forward to them, especially if they were pornographic, but no, didn't get any of that.
Me and Kaz both had them. I mean, not at the same time, but we both had lucid dreams.
Yeah.
Not together.
Yeah, so you and Kaz had the same lurid dreams, did you? Right, got it. Okay, got it. Yeah. No, say no more, Mickey. Say no more. Just hope your missus isn't watching.
No, she's in bed asleep. Poor old girl. She's done another 10-hour day today.
So I don't know what Champix is called in the United States, but Mickey lied to me. I never had lurid dreams, but yeah, I just gave it up. I don't miss it at all. I don't miss it at all. Okay, well, Wellbutrin then, if that's what it's called. I've got Google, but I'm not looking at it. Wellbutrin, if that's what it's called. Lack of choices. I just gave it up, and I've not wanted to smoke since. What I can tell you is that when I'm out and about, my partner, she gave up smoking a month after me, and she gave it up because I gave it up because she didn't want to have cigarette smell in the house around me to tempt me, so she gave it up for me, and I thought that was very nice of her. But since then, neither of us has smoked. But when I'm out and about, I must admit, I do enjoy, it doesn't make me want one, but I actually, when somebody just lights a cigarette, a freshly lit cigarette, not one you roll yourself, a proper cigarette, when somebody lights one of those up and you smell it, that smell of Virginia actually smells quite nice. Doesn't make me want one, but it does smell quite nice. What I can't stand is I can't stand ashtrays, cigarettes that have been in the ashtrays for 3 or 4 hours. And the other thing, the first thing I noticed when I gave up smoking is how much smokers actually smell, and they don't know how much they smell. And smokers really, really stink, especially if they've had a cigarette an hour ago, an hour after having a cigarette. You really, really stink. You have no idea. If I knew what I know now, how much I stunk, and I mean, I started smoking when I was maybe 11 or 12, and I smoked for 50 odd years, 45 years actually. Very heavy smoker. I was smoking 50 a day when I quit. If I knew how much I smelled, I would have quit years and years ago. So, and that's the only thing I noticed. But I certainly don't lecture people. I certainly don't tell them not to smoke. There's 2 places which I would not allow smoking. I will not allow smoking in my car. Nobody has ever smoked in my car, ever. I picked it up brand new from the showroom 3 years ago, so nobody has smoked in that car. It's the first car I've ever owned that I've never smoked in. So nobody has smoked in that car, and we don't allow any smoking in the house. If any smokers come to visit, no matter what the weather, it's in the garden, because that's the other thing that we noticed is the walls don't go yellow. We've actually painted since we stopped smoking. We've repainted the walls and the ceiling, and they stayed white. And before they were like a thin layer of nicotine on them. Same with the windows. The windows don't need cleaning anywhere near as often. A little change, and of course we're much better off because here in the UK the price of cigarettes is frightening. A packet of cigarettes is I checked the other day, right? A packet of Marlboro Gold, right? Marlboro Gold, which are Marlboro's low tar cigarettes, is £12. That's $15 a packet for 20. $15 for a packet of cigarettes. Think about that. I know you smoke roll-ups, sonny Mickey.
I do, yeah.
Old Holborn or Gold Virginia?
Neither.
What Asda's cheap shit?
I smoke cheap.
What Asda's stuff?
No. It's called Turner, and it's imported from Belgium and Holland. I'll say no more. It's duty free.
It's what, Nicky? Sorry.
It's duty free.
Not anymore. It's not.
Well,
yeah. Obviously it is. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But apparently it's not supposed to be.
No. You're absolutely right. Low tar cigarettes are heresy. Yes, absolutely.
I didn't say I smoked them. I just said I just happened to be looking at the prices, and that was what came up. The price of Marlboro Gold was $12 a packet, £12 a packet. Since we've been looking, I've just looked at the price of ordinary Marlboro. You know, the red packet Marlboro, £13 a packet, Mickey.
Yeah, that's why I only used to smoke cheap cigarettes, stuff like Carlton and Red Band and stuff like that. But even they're nearly £11 a pack now, and that's one of the reasons that my wife has smoked roll-ups for years and years, but I'm gonna. But I was buying 2 packs a day, like it's 20 quid. You work that out over a year, that was a fortune. Yeah,
£1,040 a year.
A week. 140 quid a week.
140 quid a week, yeah. So that's yeah.
It's absolutely stupid money, which is why I went on to the roll-ups, which cost us about £8.50 a pack.
I was buying a pack a day. I smoked roll-ups, and I smoked Taylor Mates, and I was buying a pack a day. So it's just. But like I said, I don't smoke anymore, Mickey. I did the other thing I noticed when I gave up smoking is I did put on weight. But I didn't mind that. I've since put on a lot more weight, but that's down to having chemotherapy. That's down to being on bloody steroids at the moment because I
have given up 2 or 3 times. I think the longest was 10 months.
Okay.
But I get it might not be a crisis to anybody else, but I have a little crisis, and the first thing I do is reach for a cigarette.
Right, that's okay. Right.
You know, and once you had that, and that is the worst thing you can do. Once you've had one, you're back on that wagon, and the one turns into 10, into 20, into 40, and you're back where you started.
Which is why I haven't smoked at all. I don't even vape. But at the same time, I don't moralise. I've got no issues with you smoking. No issues with lack of choices. Doesn't smoke anymore if I got that right. But I've got no issues.
I've got a vape. I've got a vape here, but it made me ill. Gave me a chest infection because of the fluid. Or so my doctor told me. He gave me antibiotics.
Did he give you doxycycline?
Told me to stop. No, I don't know what he gave me.
Oh, right, okay.
But no, he gave me antibiotics and told me to lay off the vape because it was apparently that gave me the chest infection, the vape. So I gave that up and went back on the cigarettes, which is absolute crazy, really. But
have you noticed what lack of choices he's saying? Right, he's giving us the world tour of all the dodgy cigarettes in the world.
Tobacco. Yeah, I hate Turkish cigarettes. They're horrible. Oh, I I had some while I was over there. I ran out while I was over there. Bought a packet.
Do you know what the worst cigarettes in the world are? Do you know what the
Bullshit.
worst cigarettes in the world are?
Oh.
Those bloody French Gaulois. Oh, they're disgusting.
Christ. Yeah.
Oh, it's like smoking your own pubic hair.
Fucking horse shit, man.
Oh, it is. It's like it's disgusting. French Gaulois cigarettes. No wonder the French are all miserable buggers if that's their number one selling cigarette.
But they chain smoke the.
Oh, I know. It's only just recently they've actually put filters on them. They're still disgusting. Oh, Gaulois are just. Oh, disgusting cigarettes. But that explains why the French are all miserable.
But they are, yeah. I don't know.
I went to Jamaica in 1992, and when I was out there in Jamaica, because Jamaica's not far from Cuba, only about 70 miles. Can you hear that? Alexa's going on about Alexa, fuck off. Alexa, shut up. Stop. Oh, who asked your opinion? I went out to Cuba. No, I didn't go out to Cuba at all. I went out to Jamaica, and because it's only about 70 miles from Cuba, there is quite a black market in Cuban cigars out there. And I must admit, the Cuban cigars that I did smoke out there were quite nice. I've no idea. I've got my earpiece in my left ear, Mickey, which is my and Alexa's on my left, so I can't actually. I know it's right because my camera is reversed, but I can't actually hear. I knew that Alexa was wibbling about something, but I couldn't hear what she was wibbling about. So yeah,
it was telling you that you'd been to Jamaica. She was telling you that you'd been to Jamaica.
Yes, I know she knows. She's got all my photo albums.
Oh, right.
Is that a question? All right, okay. Alexa, do you work for the CIA?
Visit the health section of.
I've got no idea. I've got no idea what she said. I can't hear her because I've got my earpiece in the ear. You probably heard her better than me. What did she say, Mickey?
I couldn't understand most of it. I could hardly hear it, but it said visit the health section of something or other when you asked in the CIA. I don't know whether she meant mental health section or what.
I did actually change it so the keyword to trigger her was computer, but then I watched Star Trek Discovery. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm thinking, why you keep saying that? Why you keep saying? Of course, yes. I've gone back to Alexa. I don't know about the rum. I'm sorry, I don't know about the rum. I don't know about the rum soaked Cuban cigars. Lack of choices. I only know they were Cuban cigars, and I smoked them when I was in Jamaica. But then I don't remember that much about Jamaica because I spent most of my time in Jamaica completely off my head on weed, which is the only reason you go to Jamaica, as far as I know, is just to get completely and totally off your tits on weed, which is what I did do. And I don't know whether Alexa works for the CIA or not. She probably works for CNA, which is something different. But yeah, I don't remember much about we stayed in a place called Ocho Rios. I just remember going out to Dunn's River Falls and going out for a swim one day and surfacing going out for a scuba dive and surfacing, and I had shorts on, not long wetsuit, short wetsuit. And I surfaced in a shoal of champagne cork jellyfish that stung my legs to hell. By the time I got to shore, my legs had swollen up to twice their size, which was an absolute nightmare. Thank God for antihistamines. I don't know. All I know is they were nice Cuban cigars, and I quite enjoyed it. It's amongst the nicest cigars I had. But like I say, most of the time out there in Jamaica, I was off my head smoking weed, as you do, because I used to smoke weed as cannabis. I used to smoke cannabis as well, but the day that I gave up smoking was also the same day that I gave up cannabis. So I've not had any cannabis since that day. I'm a real goody two shoes, and I would never, ever, ever, ever have believed I could have been like that. So, you don't smoke cannabis, do you, Mickey?
I don't. I did do back in the 80s, but it just made me tired. So I thought, why am I spending money to sleep?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, and it made the wife giggle. So while I'm trying to sleep, she's giggling and waking me up. So it made me irritable.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
no, it didn't. I mean, I've tried it a few times. It didn't do nothing for me, to be honest, Steve. Just like I said, made me tired, made me want to go to sleep. So if you're on a night out, why do you want to go and sit in the pub, have a joint on your way down to the pub and then sit there asleep all night? It just no. Never knew till a colonel gave him a high
About the
grade
rum soaked
Cuban.
Cubans, yeah, that's very interesting actually. Right, it's just gone midnight here in the UK.
Yeah,
I don't know what time it is in Hawaii. I think you're probably almost 10 hours behind us, so I think you're probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. Would that be right over there? Lack of choices, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning? No, sorry, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon there. Lack of choices, I think, over there in Hawaii. I think you're about 10 hours behind us. So I think it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon there, isn't it? Or have I got that wrong? Am I talking absolute rubbish? While I'm waiting for the lack of choices to answer, I've got to go 13:01. Yeah,
13.
I wasn't far wrong.
Yeah.
11 hours in that case. 11 hours.
Yeah.
11 hours. It's just gone after midnight here in the UK. I've got to go because I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm actually not very well. I have an incurable cancer, and I've got to take my medication in a minute. Once I've taken my medication, that puts Mickey reminded me, because once I take 1300. I know what military time is. 1300. All the clocks in my house read 24 hours. You Americans call it military time. We just call it the 24 o'clock, but all my clocks read 24 hours. So right now it's 001. It was 23:59 before that. So 1300 means that you're 11 hours behind us.
Did you know that they don't have a midnight? It does go from 23:59 to
Yeah,
01.
I know, it's bizarre. And
Yeah,
I've
that's a
lack of
military.
choices. Like I said, you've already followed me on Reddit. There really isn't a lot of point in being on Reddit because after the 29th, we won't be broadcasting on Reddit anymore. After the 29th, we're going entirely over to Twitch. But I'll be on Twitch tomorrow night. If you want to watch Twitch, you'll see me and Tracey, who isn't a guy, and she's awesome. But yeah, lack of choices. It's been nice talking to you, and the other people that
Absolutely.
have got on there.
Nice to talk. Nice to talk to a fellow
Yeah,
military man for a change. To be fair,
yeah, it's nice.
get perspective of different how things are done in different countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Mickey. Like I say, I'm not a I've never served in the military, so
No, I understand that. Understand that.
it's not
Um,
something. It's not something I can really join in, Mickey. With I don't.
no, I do a lot. I do a lot of gaming, Steve, with ex-military
Right,
guys
right.
from all around the world. To be
Yeah.
fair, which is why I can. Well, I've actually cut down my gaming to actually do this stream because normally we're on from about 8:30 till 1 o'clock in the
Yep.
morning playing games. But I've cut out 2 or 3 days to do this stream, which is why I can't put any more days into this because I don't want to cut myself off from a
Okay, I
gaming.
understand. Did you see what lack of choices just said there?
What? PM me with the address in I square. You guys
There you
already
go.
seen my
Look, there you
wire
go. See?
swag.
Yeah,
There
there
you
you go.
go.
You just have to learn how to do direct messages on Reddit now, Mickey. I know.
I know how to
Oh,
do
you
that.
do you? All right. Okay. Oh, well. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know how to do
Right.
that.
Like I say, I've got cancer and I've got medication that I have to take. And within about 10 minutes of me taking this, I've got an incurable cancer, by the way, which that's something that really pisses me off, right? When I tell people I've got an incurable cancer, Mickey, do you know what they say? I hope you get better soon.
Will you ever
Yeah,
get
I hope you
better?
get better soon,
Yeah, hope you get.
or get well
Yeah,
soon. Oh, do you
yeah,
not understand what incurable means?
yeah.
Craziness. So the medication I take will just knock me out on my feet completely. So I've got to take it. And it's got to be taken. I've got to take it every 12 hours. I've got to take it at midnight and midday. because I've got to make sure that I've got the right amount. I've got to make sure that I've got an even amount of this medication in my system at all times. So there we go. Right. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye to the 11 people on Reddit and the 2 people on YouTube. So there you go, Mickey. It's down to you to say goodnight now for your side.
Right. Good night, all. Stay safe and be happy.
Yep. So let's end the Reddit stream. I will stop streaming on Reddit now. We're still going on YouTube. The Reddit stream gone. Yep, that's the Reddit stream ended. Just check that's the Reddit stream gone. Yep. And I'll just stop